Steven Seagal, the unstoppable force of 80s and 90s action cinema, captivated millions with his intense presence and silent warrior style. From Under Siege to Hard to Kill, he wasn't just an actor, he was a symbol of strength. But behind the legend was a man marked by struggle, 3 failed marriages, a career that unraveled, and an empire slipping away. Born in 1952 in Lansing, Michigan, Steven's early life was a battle against severe asthma. Fragile as a child, he dreamed of strength. That dream took him to Japan, where through grueling training and perseverance, he became one of the first Westerners to teach Aikido professionally. Returning to the US in the 80s, Seagal fought an uphill battle to break into Hollywood. When fame finally came with Above the Law, his raw, real fight scenes set him apart. Under Siege cemented his place as an action icon, earning massive box office success. But the mid-90s brought change. As tastes shifted, Seagal's films faltered. On Deadly Ground, a personal project, was critically panned, and his career slipped from theaters to straight-to-DVD releases. The slow decline was painful for a man who had conquered so much. Yet through it all, Seagal endured, turning to music and family, seeking peace beyond the spotlight. His story is one of resilience, a reminder that true strength isn't just in fists and fame, but in rising again after loss. If Seagal was part of your youth, press like, a tribute to a complex man whose legend lives on. Steven Seagal's music revealed a softer side, blues and longing far from his action hero image. On stage with his guitar, he was simply Steven, the dreamer. But critics mocked him, turning his personal rebirth into a punchline. "I wasn't trying to be famous again," he said. "I just wanted to play the music I loved." Despite thin applause and silence, he kept playing, because giving up was never an option. When movies faded, Seagal turned to business ventures, a video game, an energy drink, fragrances, but none succeeded. His grand Tennessee estate sold for a fraction of its worth, a painful symbol of a legacy slipping away. "Some nights I wondered if I had anything left," he admitted. The hardest blow wasn't money, but losing faith, both from others and himself. His most fragile battle was love. At 21, he married Miyako Fujitani in Japan, building a family. But Hollywood's call pulled him away, leaving Miyako to raise their children alone. Years later, he confessed, "In chasing the world, I lost the people who mattered most. Family paid the price for fame." Later, a brief marriage to actress Adrienne LaRussa offered hope, but ended quietly. No scandal, just a wounded heart unable to heal. No children, no lasting bond, only another goodbye. "I was searching for peace in the wrong places," he later admitted. And when you do that, nothing lasts. At that time, he wasn't yet a legend. He was still the wanderer, building bridges over broken ground, only to watch them collapse. The marriage to Adrienne LaRussa became not a love story, but a reflection of a deeper unrest. The reminder that even warriors cannot outrun the silence within. It is often in the brightest glow of fame that the deepest shadows are born. In the late 80s and early 90s, Steven Seagal stood invincible, rising from obscurity to stand alongside Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Van Damme as one of Hollywood's titans. Fate crowned his triumph with a love story seemingly written in starlight. His union with Kelly LeBrock, the radiant actress and model whose face graced screens and magazines worldwide. To the public, they were the perfect match, an unstoppable warrior and a legendary beauty. Their wedding was a spectacle of flashes and promises, the golden couple embodying glamour and strength. Their early days shimmered with laughter and hope. 3 children filled their home, anchoring their lives in something beyond fame. For a time, their family seemed untouchable. Bedtime stories, shared breakfasts, and the innocent joy of love. Steven wasn't just an action star, he was a husband, a father, a man who seemed to hold the world in his hands. But even fairy tales cast shadows. Behind polished smiles, the weight of fame crept in like poison. The relentless grind of film sets pulled Seagal away for weeks, sometimes months. Rumors of infidelity surfaced, some tabloids' fabrications, others too close to ignore. For Kelly, every whispered comment was another crack in trust. What once was devotion turned to suspicion. Laughter grew brittle and distant. She carried the burden of motherhood largely alone, while Steven drifted further into career and temptation. The glow dimmed, replaced by isolation and fatigue. Kelly later admitted those years were among the hardest she'd ever endured. Walking away was survival, not anger. By the mid-1990s, Steven Seagal's career and personal life both began to crumble. On Deadly Ground flopped, and his marriage to Kelly ended painfully amid custody battles and financial disputes. Kelly took full responsibility for their children, while Seagal faced the heartbreak of absence. Tabloids turned their private pain into public spectacle. He later admitted, "Fame took me everywhere except where I truly needed to be, home." Their story is a harsh reminder. Success can't protect from the cost of broken family bonds. Even the strongest warriors fall. In the early 2000s, Seagal found new hope with Erdanuya Elibatsuk, a Mongolian dancer who became his wife and gave him a son, Kunzang. Together, they built a quieter life. Less Hollywood glare, more refuge. But the past lingered. With 6 older children and many missed moments, joy was always mixed with regret. Seagal reflected, "What you lose in the storms, you can't always bring back. But you learn to be grateful for what you have left." This late-found family brought peace, perhaps his greatest triumph. Yet the body that once defined him became his hardest opponent. Battered by decades of relentless physical battles, with injuries and pain he endured silently, a final lasting challenge beyond the screen. By his 50s, Steven Seagal's once fluid agility gave way to a slower, heavier presence. Directors adjusted shots. Stunt teams took on more. Behind the scenes, he battled pain and loss of mobility, facing the harsh truth that his body no longer moved like before. "Every step I take now," he said, "I remember the battles that put me here." In his later years, Seagal found new courage, not in spectacle, but in endurance. Living quietly on a vast Arizona estate, he seeks peace after storms, surrounded by reminders of a life once lived full throttle. Vintage cars, samurai statues, and memories. Once worth millions, his Tennessee mansion sold for far less, reflecting his faded star. His fortune, around $16 million, is comfortable but modest compared to peers. Father of 7 and grandfather, he feels pride and regret, his greatest legacy shaped by both presence and absence. Now gentler routines replace former intensity. Meditation, light training, family dinners. The warrior of the 80s and 90s is gone, replaced by a man who carries both pride and loss. Yet Seagal's story is more than decline. His unique style and stillness left a lasting mark on cinema. His journey, from fragile boy to Hollywood icon to quiet elder, reflects life's truths. Glory fades, but endurance remains. Family and health are true treasures. If Seagal shaped your youth, what memories stay with you? Leave a like as a tribute to a warrior flawed but enduring. If you love Hollywood gossip, celebrity news, and all things star-studded, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Also, drop a comment below.